service.
You do know that it's still above my face, right?
I mean,
That's all. Yes, can you hear me?
Good morning. Welcome to Arlington Street Church, gathered in love and service for justice and peace. We are Unitarian Universalists. Ours is a historic faith with a progressive theology grounded in love. A love which calls us to see the holy in each and every being and to take compassionate action in our world. In this space, we gather with open minds, open hearts, and open hands to practice acceptance, forgiveness, and love. Welcoming people of all nations, all creeds, all colors, all genders, all cultures, and all kinds of love. Whether you're here every week, stopped by today for the first time, or come once in a while, we welcome all of who you are and all you are becoming. You are welcome here.
Good morning. I'm Hala Hazar, this morning's worship coordinator. Reverend Parisa and I are joined by Director of Music Mark David Buckles, Young Chu Young, and our Arlington Street Choir leading worship on this very special Music Sunday. We couldn't do this without our tech team, greeters, ushers, and coffee hour hosts. Thank you, friends. If you're new to Arlington Street, welcome. We are so glad you're here and would love to stay connected. I hope you will visit our website at arlingtonstreet.org and sign up for our weekly e-newsletter. If you're in the sanctuary, please fill out the pew card and put it in the basket during the offering time to let us know how to be in touch with you. On the last page of the order of service, you'll find information on upcoming Arlington Street events. There's a lot going on, both in person and on Zoom, and we'd love to see you this week. If you or someone you know is struggling to meet your food needs right now, we have launched the community food share bin downstairs near the bottom of the back steps of the sanctuary. It will be available every Sunday morning until the end of coffee hour. Please take what you need. If you are not able to get to Arlington Street, the Minister's Discretionary Fund is here to help those in need. Whatever your need, please reach out to Rev Parisa at any time for confidential support. Her email address can be found in the staff listing at the end of your order of service. We are here for you. And as a special treat, at the end of the service, Elf Jefe Kevin Tyrell is organizing the first phase of bringing in the greens with the decoration of the pulpit area. We'd love your help. If you came this morning with a joy or concern in your heart, you are invited to light a candle at home and share in the chat, or come up and light a silent candle at the table to the right of the Gleason podium at any time during the service. I hope all of you in the in-person congregation will plan to join us in the Honeywell Chapel right through the leather door up front after the service. Those of you on Zoom are invited to stay on for remote fellowship as well. It is now time for Jen to turn the camera on the in-person congregation as we wave and smile at each other, as well as at our friends in the Zoom room. And you all in the Zoom room can wave and smile back. Hello, friends. Let's all engage that Arlington Street spirit of welcome that transcends physical distance as we greet one another heart to heart. Whether you've been coming here for years or today is your first time at Arlington Street, welcome home. And now, please join in saying the affirmation and covenant of this beloved spiritual community. The words are printed in your order of service and in the chat. Love is the spirit of this congregation, and service is our gift. This is our great covenant to dwell together in peace, to speak our truths in love, and to help one another.
Our opening words this morning, as we find ourselves poised on the national holiday of Thanksgiving, wanting to be in relationship with our earth and with the peoples who were here long before many of us were, share these bits of guidance from Robin Wall Kimmerer, author of Braiding Sweetgrass. Know the ways of the ones who take care of you, so that you may take care of them. Introduce yourself. Be accountable as the one who comes asking for life. Ask for permission before taking. Abide by the answer. Never take the first. Never take the last. Take only what you need. Take only that which is given. Never take more than half. Leave some for others. Harvest in a way that minimizes harm. Use it respectfully. Never waste what you've taken. Share. Give thanks for what you have been given. Give a gift in reciprocity for what you have taken. Sustain the ones who sustain you, and the earth will last forever. May we be sustained by our gathering in this community and abide by these wise words.
Our next hymn is All People Who on Earth Do Dwell. Will be led by the Arlington Street Choir, and the words to sing along can be found in the order of service and in the chat. Let's rise now in body, rise in spirit, and sing together hymn 370, All People Who on Earth Do Dwell. It is now time for our treasured ritual of sharing community candles of sorrow and joy. In addition to sharing our sorrows and joys this morning, let's reach out to one another in the week ahead, staying connected. May these times remind us of how very precious this beloved community is. We need one another. Whether together or apart, may we stay very close. Let's join in singing Sanctuary. The words are printed in your order of service and in the chat.
We come today with joys and sorrows, celebrations and regrets, often woven finely together. However you have come, we are here to soothe and to rejoice with you.
A candle of sorrow and gratitude for the life of my grandmother, Mary Palladino Roberts, who passed away yesterday at the age of 99. She was the youngest child of a large Italian immigrant family, and to her 7 children, 17 grandchildren, 25 great-grandchildren, and the countless people whose lives she touched throughout the years of service to the unhoused and hungry in her community, she embodied generosity, hospitality, and selfless love. Though dementia took her mind and memories over the past few years, she never lost her loving heart. Thank you, Mom, for the recipes, the family stories, the late-night biscotti and hot chocolate around the kitchen table, and the very best hugs. We were all so lucky to have you. Julie Gregario. A mixed candle from Eve Loria. Please keep my mom, Sharon, in your prayers. She is having a bone marrow biopsy this week to diagnose what kind of lymphoma she has. We hope it will be one of the better kinds. Please send her good wishes on Tuesday morning. A candle of sorrow from the Arlington Street Congregation. As we mark Transgender Day of Remembrance on November 20th, a candle of sorrow for all of our transgendered and non-binary siblings who have been killed because of hatred. We will not forget you. May we do everything we can for all who are targeted because of their gender identity. To our beloved trans and non-binary friends, you are beautiful, you deserve health care, you deserve freedom, you deserve love. We love you always. A candle of sorrow from Queen Cheryl. This week, my company had a federal I-9 audit. I had to let go of 5 employees, all from Haiti, whose employment authorization cards expired and who were no longer being offered temporary protected service status. One of these people had been with us for 7 years. 2 worked their way up to supervisor and 1 all the way to store manager. What do you do when you've lost your job a month before Christmas, can't sign up for food assistance or get help with rent, and are facing deportation back to an impoverished country run by gangs? I have no words and feel helpless. A mixed candle from the Arlington Street Congregation. As we enter the holiday season, we recognize that this time of year is difficult for many people for many reasons. Some struggle with family dynamics, some are far from loved ones, some have nowhere to go. Our hearts are with you and are here to support you. Please reach out to our pastoral care team if you need support this holiday season. A candle of joy from Ali Jablonski. A big candle of joy for Rebecca Reed and all the helpers who made yesterday's Friendsgiving possible. In a time when the world can feel dark and cold, it is amazing to see us creating our own light and warmth in the parish hall. Happy Thanksgiving, Arlington Street family. I'm so grateful we have each other. A final candle of joy and thanks to John Anderson Miller from the Arlington Street Congregation for the brownstone delivery for the final phase of the completion of the South Stairs.
Open my heart to be
all the sorrows and all the joys we hold in our hearts, we light a final candle to remember and to rejoice. May the peace of this sanctuary enter into our hearts as we share a quiet moment together, breathing our prayers for ourselves, for one another, for our country, for all nations, for all beings. Amen.
Desire.
Morning never felt so glorious, did it? Thank you, Mark David. Our reading this morning is a poem called Red by Cheryl Savageau. In his new poem, the red autumn woods are a metaphor for leftist martyrs. We're traveling east through a maple forest that blazes the hillsides on both sides of this winding backcountry road. Look at the trees, I want to tell him. Listen. The trees have their own stories to tell, like the story of fire deep in the heart. They, too, have been martyrs in the long war against the land, a nation cut down, children denied. 100 years ago, these hills were bare of trees, the stone walls that wind through them, the illusion of ownership. Now, the hills are red with maples. My heart is leaping out to meet them. My eyes cannot be full enough. Though acid falls from the clouds, maples have gathered on the hillsides in every direction. See how they celebrate. They are wearing their brightest dresses. Come, sisters, let me dance with you. I offer you a song. Let me paint it red with passion. You are all the women I have ever loved. Here ends the reading. As the maples here in Massachusetts let go of their glorious dresses and we prepare to give thanks for the bounty of the earth and honor the indigenous wisdom and lives and ways that have too long been ignored, it's fitting that this Sunday's Music Sunday invites us to find communion among the trees, to be at one with the wild, to give thanks for the fact that we humans are not all there is, and to listen to other parts of creation so that we can get over ourselves for a moment, put things in perspective. The Arbor Day Foundation, protecting trees for a very long time now, reminds us that humans have recognized a special connection with trees since the dawn of history. Every major religion includes trees in its earliest stories. The Egyptians had their sacred groves, and the Bible mentions trees no less than 120 times. The Celts saw magical powers in trees that varied by species. Philosophers like Rousseau and Thoreau proclaimed moral value or goodness that comes from associating with trees and the outdoors in general. As we started to establish parks in American cities in the 19th century, efforts began at the same time to define just what these intrinsic values in trees might be. Pioneering landscape architect Frederick Law Olmsted believed that they improved the mental health of urbanites as more and more people left the healthful countryside for the cities. But he also thought that the whole topic of the benefit of trees to humans was too complex, subtle, and spiritual to be checked off item by item like a jeweler's or florist's wares, he wrote. It defied research and understanding. Now, since Olmsted's time, hundreds of scientists have undertaken the research to work on pinpointing exactly what he said was impossible to understand. What is it that makes exposure to nature, and more specifically to trees, so healthful for us humans? In 1928, Russian biologist Dr. Boris Tonkin discovered that plants, especially trees, offer each other signals to warn and protect each other. As Robin Wall Kimmerer, a scientist and member of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation, describes it, these are specific compounds that one tree will release when it's under stress of an insect attack, gypsy moths gorging on its leaves or bark beetles under its skin. The tree sends out a distress call. Hey, you guys over there, I'm under attack here. You might want to get up to raise the drawbridge and arm yourselves for what's coming your way. The downwind trees catch the drift, the whiff of danger. This gives them time to manufacture defensive chemicals. The trees warn each other. The invaders are repelled. Trees seem to be working together to protect their community. Researchers around the world in the 1980s and 90s then examined the effects of these phytoncides on the humans who spent time among trees. And they discovered that humans also absorb those same compounds that the trees send out as their distress signals. Those warning signals that help you know how to protect yourself. And our own systems respond like those other trees do. We create something more of what's called natural killer cells. Doesn't that sound ominous? Those boost our immune systems, reduce our stress hormones, lower our blood glucose levels. Robin Wall Kimmerer writes, "One thing I've learned in the woods is that there is no such thing as random. Everything is steeped in meaning, colored by relationships, one thing with another." Knowing all that we know about the woods and living all that we're living now in terms of stress and threat and just ambient yikes, we really should all be spending every second we can among those trees, shouldn't we? And you could say, as you know I'm going here, there are some parallels between getting into the woods and coming to and committing to a church community. It may take us years to work up the courage, work through past experiences or anxious imaginations, and walk through that door. And when we do, it takes some time to figure out, is this place for me? How will I know if I belong? We've all taken the risk of showing up with all our yearnings and all our gifts, our hang-ups and our hopes, to get out of our weekly lives and connect with something enduring, something that helps us see our place in the world in a new light, puts a little fresh oxygen in our lungs to nourish our bodies, getting an experience of connection to feed our souls. Now, trees are naturally in one fixed place, aware of where their kin are and where they belong, but we humans can float around for an awfully long time before we find our people. So when we do, it's powerful. Church leadership consultant Thomas Bandy proclaims that the work of the church is to ignite the passions, to enliven the song in the hearts of all who come, and then to help us discover our gifts and equip us to put them to use in the world. Isn't that beautiful? It makes me imagine all of us walking tall like the trees of the forest, aware of our beauty and our gifts, aware of our own power, and then being sent into the world to quench the thirst we have, to join our greatest passions to the world's greatest needs. What would that mean for how we think about the role of our church? Here, like in the woods, there is a sacred spark, a holy presence, the essence of life itself that speaks in and through each of us. We hear it best when we are together, beholding, finding meaning in the mystery. And we find that meaning when we are closest together, taking risks with our hearts, daring to trust each other's wisdom and witness each other's struggles. It takes a kind of courage to listen to that inner voice. Not the courage, of course, of armor or weapons, but the courage of healing from heartbreak and daring to love, of finding ourselves disappointed and sometimes even disappointing, and to come back to center our love again and again. If we're going to make it to the beautiful vista on that wooded hike, the place where we might feel most alive and free to use all of who we are in service to something greater, we need people around us to help us hear that call and find our way. At the risk of taking a U-turn in metaphors, I don't know how many of you have ever been on a big ship. I never thought I would be someone who would go on a commercial cruise. But about 15 years ago, my father, not at all wealthy, actually known very widely for his frugality, and not one for gift giving, decided he wanted to take our whole family on a week-long cruise of the fjords of Norway. When this was announced, the whole family was puzzled. Why Norway? Why a cruise? My husband Enrique and I thought about a dozen other ways we might prefer to travel. And then, as one does when offered a free vacation, we got over ourselves and packed our bags. We boarded the ship, fascinated by the sophisticated process of getting so many people and luggage on board and in the right place with minimal chaos. And soon after we made it through the casino-quality lights in the center of the common area of the ship and to our cabin, we were called to find our muster station. Mustard station? Our 8-year-old son Kian asked, maybe imagining that there was a hot dog at this place. No, muster. Now, not being versed in naval or sailing terminology or history, this was new to us. The place on the ship where you gather in an emergency is the muster station. Now, muster simply means gathering, but there's something about that term for this purpose that's compelling to me. In the Navy, a muster station is where a small group of people meet, each with a particular challenge or a particular skill. They have to work together to guide the ship through a storm or respond to any other kind of emergency or just get the next job done that needs to be done. It's a given that none of their skills is quite enough alone. They have to gather together and gather their gifts together to guide that ship to safety. And I have, since having that first experience of a muster station, thought about congregational life as our own muster station, a place where we gather courage in troubled times, a place from which to coordinate our response when the seas are rough, a place to pool our resources, to get instructions when we need them, to make our own little forested planet of care and growth hospitable so that we can heal our communities, our nation, our planet. Sunday worship, this time we spend together each week, is one of the ways we muster. And staying on this ship across the wide open sea and holding on through the winding, stomach-turning waves takes a little bit of courage. It takes knowing we're part of an ecosystem that will care for us, will send us waves of healing and hope when we're in trouble, will warn us of the dangers and have our backs as we fight all of the dis-ease we're living now. A muster station is where you make plans for navigating the waters or the woods with the particular gifts and struggles you've got. So this morning, as we celebrate the joy of music to carry us to places we might not be able to go in body, as we welcome our newest members, let's remind each other of the power of this muster station, this grove of beautiful trees we have, offering each other shelter, hope, and healing, discovering the passions that we bring for each of our songs that are meant to be a blessing to the world. Amen.
Please join in our responsive reading, We Need One Another, number 468 in your gray hymnal and in your order of service and the chat. The congregation is invited to read the bold sections. We need one another when we mourn and would be confronted. Another
when we are in trouble and afraid.
We need one another when we are in despair, in temptation, and need to be recalled to the best selves again.
We need one another when we would accomplish some greater purpose and cannot do it alone.
We need one another in the hour of success and when we look for someone to share our triumphs.
We need one another in the hour of defeat,
when we,
with encouragement, we might endure and stand again.
We need one another when we come to die and would have gentle hands prepare us for the journey. All our lives we are in need, and others are in need of us.
In this congregation, seeking spirits have come together for 296 years. Yes, that's very close to 300, y'all. Exploring the meaning of life and death, finding faithful ways to be of service, building a community of care through all of life's ups and downs. We are so grateful for each and every one of our new members has found their way here today. And we hope that as you join this community, you'll continue to allow yourself to love and be loved by this congregation. Here in this community of love and service for justice and peace, we count on each other to be potential friends and spiritual teachers, finding blessing in the warm feelings as well as the tough lessons of navigating community life together. Because we come together to fill the needs of our spirits, we promise to remember our vulnerability, to be mindful of how much we rely on each other's generosity, grace, and goodness. We promise also in our congregational life to guard one another's spirits, to respect each person's private struggles, and to hold each other in the light of love. We welcome you to this community.
My name is Rachel Corey. I am the lead of the membership committee, and it's my pleasure to welcome our newest members. We welcome our newest members this morning into this circle of love and service for justice and peace, knowing we'll be stronger for their presence and richer for all we have to learn from one another. I'd like to introduce Bradley Cohen. Bradley first visited ASC in the mid-1990s to witness his best friend's joining ceremony. He was struggling and discovered an unexpected sense of refuge in the service. A few years later, he began attending regularly, sitting alone to feel his feelings and lighting silent candles as he learned a new way of living. After a hiatus, he was invited to perform as Wanda de Galaxy at Indulge. A few years later, Wanda secured his love of ASC while marching in Pride after the Pride service, when a young person approached to tell him they had successfully advocated for gender-free bathrooms in their middle school. He knew Wanda and ASC had him doing the right thing at the right time. Welcome, Bradley.
Thank you.
I'd also like to welcome Keith Fine. Keith was raised in New York and moved to Boston in 1986. He works at a local hospital as a patient service representative. In his free time, he enjoys reading, listening to classical music, and his favorite form of exercise, taking naps. In June of 2024, a friend of his told him that Reverend Kim was retiring and she would be giving her last sermon. After having heard so many good things about Reverend Kim and Arlington Street Church over the years, he thought it would be nice to attend a Sunday morning service. He was completely knocked over by the beauty of the service and the music, the sermon, and the sanctuary. He wondered what a so-called regular Sunday service would be like, so he came back the next week. And again, he was so moved and touched by every aspect of the service. He kept coming back week after week, and each time he was amazed by how meaningful the services were and how friendly everybody was. He would like to thank everyone at Arlington Street Church for creating a community where everyone is accepted and loved. Thank you to the membership committee for being so kind and welcoming. And thank you to the worship committee and all the ministers and lay leaders who create such beautiful services. He is very thankful to Mark David, Hyunju, and the choir and soloists for sharing their wonderful talents with us each week. He is grateful to all of the volunteers and to the tech team who give us the opportunity to stay connected. He would like to give special thanks to Reverend Parisa for sharing such a beautiful and uplifting, meaningful sermons and for us and for guiding our congregation with so much love. He cannot tell you how appreciative he is to belong to this wonderful and caring spiritual community. Welcome, Keith. And last but not least, we have Marilyn Vitolo. At 70, after the death of her husband and the isolation of the pandemic, she moved to Boston to be closer to her children and grandchildren. Pondering the meaning of life and death, she found herself in need of a spiritual community. Happily, she found her way to Arlington Street Church, and we're very happy that you did. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody, and welcome.
May we all continue to find the blessings of membership as we grow together, holding love and justice at the center. Amen.
Will you sing with me? Courage,
Courage,
my friend, you do not travel alone. We will go with you, and sing your spirit home. Courage, courage, my friend, you do
of the trees for a wider look. The sounds of the storm were glorious, with wild exuberance of light and motion. The sounds of the storm were glorious, with wild exuberance of light and motion. Benediction swirling backward and forward, round and round and round and round.
Y'all took us to that place where there is real rest. Thank you so much. We are in the woods. Just like that experience of being among the trees, all kinds of music offer us the medicine of connection, infusing us with the neurochemicals that keep us grounded and nourish our whole bodies. Can you feel yourself a little more healed than when you walked in? Every week here at Arlington Street, we're immersed in the power of music to heal us, to lift us up, to affirm, and to transform us. Where else can we have an experience of connection with one another, amplified, supported, facilitated, elevated by the gifts of live world-class talent? Where else? Our director of music, Mark David Buckles, our extraordinarily accomplished collaborative pianist, Youngju Young, our dedicated section leaders, Beck Zare, Shay Brown, Sam LaGrego, Julie Gregorio, Hannah Shainfeld, and John Dendy. I hope I didn't miss anyone. All of these folks bring not just their musical gifts, but their dedication to our values and the coherence of our worship experience. Whether it's singing in the language of cats, or singing Fauré or Bach, or a pop song they haven't even heard before, these folks all bring a range and commitment and joy to every offering. And then there are our volunteers, our choir, who brings a sense of adventure and are game to try anything, who put in the extra hours to make Sundays literally vibrate with the energy of song and support one another and other members of the congregation as members themselves. And then there's Roger Vine and Joe De La Pena, our artists in residence, who bring their dedication to this congregation in their Sunday morning offerings, and Roger, who keeps the organ in shape by playing every day of the week, quietly keeping the sanctuary alive with song, keeping spirit here in this space while the rest of us are busy doing other things. So, my friends, I ask you, what is all of that worth? Arriving each week to a fresh, live experience of music brought to life by these extraordinary people, holding us in our grief, in our joy, on our tough days, and our most celebrated occasions. What's it worth? That's right, it's priceless. We give and receive the morning's offering in support of our music programs at this time, when funding for arts education and arts organizations is being cut and music is needed more than ever. So I ask you to consider what you might give to keep this precious resource we have, this gem, this spiritual boost, this glorious blessing alive and thriving in this world. Get that number in your head, and then double it if you can. And if that feels too easy, double it again, or add a zero, your choice. There is no such thing as giving too much for the outrageous gift of our music program that we receive every week. You can give online at ascboston.org arlingtonstreet.org, or find instructions in the order of service for giving via QR code, Venmo, or text message. You can also do the old-fashioned thing and mail a check to the church, or use the envelopes in the pews and put them in the baskets as they come by. Thank you for your generosity that has made this program possible and will continue to help it thrive.
Our final hymn is hymn 1028, The Fire of Commitment. We'll be led by the Arlington Street Choir, and the words to sing along can be found in the order of service and in the chat. Let's rise now in body, rise in spirit, and sing together hymn 1028, The Fire of Commitment.
Give it up one more time for Mark David Buckles, our choir, our soloist. As we join in our benediction, I invite those of you in the Zoom room to put your hands up to the sides of your squares, and those of you in the sanctuary to raise your hands, palms out, and share the great blessing. Just imagine those special chemicals, sending them out to help protect and warn and hold each other in care. Send that love all the way out beyond this sanctuary to embrace this hurting world. And then as you feel the love around you on your left and right, scoop it right back up to carry it in your heart as you bring your hands to heart center as we move through this week. In the words of Robin Wall Kimmerer, the breath of plants gives life to animals, and the breath of animals gives life to plants. My breath is your breath is mine. The very facts of the world are a poem, or today, perhaps a great song. Love is the spirit of this congregation. Carry it in your heart, on your lips, and in your song until we meet again. The service begins when the service ends. Amen.
Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. Where you go, I will
We are located at the corner of Arlington and Boylston Streets, across from the Public Garden in Boston, Massachusetts. Arlington Street Church, gathered in love and service for justice and peace.